Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Okay, Cairo, and now do you have to go to a government quarantine hotel?
Yes, and we pay $4,000 to $2,000 for each room.
Wow. Tell me, do you have to stay at a government quarantine hotel now? Or?
Yes.
We've tried to get through to the 1-800 number without any luck.
I tried 15 times.
15 times?
Yeah.
And you couldn't speak to a live person?
They keep disconnecting you. As soon as someone
That's what happened to us.
Disconnect, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I hate to heap more criticism on this government, but it doesn't seem they can get anything right when it comes to this file.
It seems difficult, and you shouldn't be taking people against their own will, especially if they have a negative test, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're coming back, you are hit with $2,000. That's a big stress on the pocket.
Yeah.
I think is way too overly excessive. They should do something about it. Like, it's too much. It's too much.
David Menzies for Rebel News here at Toronto Pearson International Airport. And folks, this is the Monday in which the new flight regulations kick in. Toronto is one of 4 airports, along with Vancouver, Montreal, and Calgary, that are still accepting international flights. But as I said, there are new rules, and basically this is what you need to know. You have to get a COVID-19 molecular test, not the rapid test, and that result must have been in the last 3 days. Then when you arrive here, you are going to be retested, and then you have to book a 3-night stay at a government-approved hotel near the airport at which you're arriving. And that's going to cost you perhaps up to $2,000 of your own money to stay in that government hotel. By the way, if you refuse the test, you are going to be transported to a government quarantine facility, whatever or wherever that is. So here we are, we're awaiting some of the arrivals. As you can see, we've got flights coming in from Cairo, Delhi, Frankfurt, and of course China. And we're hoping to speak to some of the people that will be going through the testing procedure. We've been behind the scenes. There's about 25 nurses on standby. I was here last night. I can tell you, and that was before the new rules kicked in, it was about a 90-minute wait for people arriving here from Istanbul, Turkey. So we're going to see how the procedure pans out, how long you have to wait for the test, and hopefully we'll get to speak to some people that, whether they like it or not, are going to be sent to a government-approved quarantine hotel. I'm David Menzies of Rebel News, and did you just get tested upon arriving?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Where did you arrive from, sir?
I came all the way from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yes.
And the process now is that you have to go to a government-run hotel right now?
Government-run hotel. I think there are about 5 in the system, but you have to go through their system to get a hotel.
Now, we understand you're on the hook for up to $2,000. How do you feel about that?
It's not a good experience, but I have no choice.
Yeah, and I understand if you refuse the test, they're going to escort you to some other government-run quarantine facility. So I guess you really don't have a choice unless you're going to make a run for it.
No, I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that option. I was told that before you are allowed to board the flight, you have to book a hotel. But the majority of the people in the plane did not book. Okay. But they are being compelled right now to book.
And sir, which hotel are you going to in Toronto?
Is a Fairfax.
And so you're there perhaps for 3 days, is that correct?
3 days, yes.
Okay, then.
Yes, you're being compelled to do 3 days plus a mandatory 14 days quarantine. Yeah. I think is overly excessive, but I just don't know. You can't beat it. It's the government.
And what about that bill? $2,000 for, I mean, that's like 4 seasons money for, some of the hotels are pretty run down. I mean, do you think that's a fair price?
No, it's not a fair price. Honestly, I think it's overpriced. They're not putting into consideration that the people coming, you went for a holiday or you went for a family, for one reason or the other, you did travel to take care of a situation. You're coming back, you are hit with $2,000. That's a big stress on the pocket.
Yeah.
I think is way too overly excessive. They should do something about it. Like, it's too much. It's too much.
Well, folks, I tried calling the federal government hotel booking line at 1-800-294-8253. Yeah, if you bet I was going to be sent to voicemail, you are correct. Well, I didn't even get to voicemail. It was just a pre-recorded message. Press 1 for English, press 2 for French. I press 1 for English, and then the phone promptly disconnected. So, yet again, your tax dollars hard at work when it comes to booking a quarantine hotel. Unbelievable. Well, folks, this is where the arriving international travelers to Canada line up at Pearson for the designated government shuttle to take them to a designated quarantine facility. Gee, where have I heard this storyline before? And folks, as you can see, the gentleman who arrived from Nigeria, he is now getting into a taxi cab. By the way, he's responsible for that expense as well. It doesn't look like you can get a discount by ordering an Uber. I imagine the government has contracted out some cab companies to do this. So I guess in a matter of seconds, he'll be whisked off to that hotel where he'll also face a $2,000 bill. And by the way, speaking of expenses, we see our friends from Paladin Security all over the airport. I wonder what the cost is for that. But, you know, really, just when you thought we had reached peak discomfort in terms of airline travel, well, just check out that indignity. Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Are you here to pick up a passenger, or?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah. Are they allowing you in, or?
No, they're not allowing me in, and she's supposed to be exempt. They said that anyone who left to take care of someone else, it was on the government webpage. Like if you were an essential worker or you had to take care of a loved one, you were supposed to be exempt. And now they're trying to force her into a hotel, even though she has a negative test and everything.
But you know, you're 100% right. It says there are exemptions for essential workers, so why is she being treated differently?
I don't know, to be honest with you. She had to go and air ambulance her dying father out of the country, right? And they said...
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, 3 months ago she left, right? And she called the border people. They said that she would be exempt, and then now they're holding her for the past couple hours.
Wow, and it's likely she'll have to stay at her expense for about $2,000 for 3 days at a hotel?
Yeah, until you test positive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I hope she's able to circumvent that. I know we've tried to get through to the 1-800 number without any luck.
I tried 15 times.
15 times?
Yeah.
And you couldn't speak to a live person?
They keep disconnecting you. As soon as someone...
That's what happened to us.
Disconnect, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I hate to heap more criticism on this government, but it doesn't seem they can get anything right when it comes to this file.
It seems difficult, and you shouldn't be taking people against their own will, especially if they have a negative test, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck, sir. I hope your friend is able to talk her way out of that costly hotel stay.
No problem. My wife.
Oh, your wife. Okay, then.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care, sir.
Take care.
Hi, ma'am. How you doing there?
I'm good. She did sing with me over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you now have to go to a hotel?
Yes, I am.
Oh, for
I
three-
am, and I already reserved.
Oh, okay
Yeah.
then. How do you feel about paying $2,000?
It's too much.
Too much.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Four Seasons money, and you're going to maybe a 3-star or 2-star hotel.
Yes.
Okay, then. Do you think it's fair?
No.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Are you drivers that take passengers to the government quarantine hotels?
I haven't taken one yet. I don't know how's the work.
Oh, okay then.
Haven't done it yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion. I called the 1-800 line, but it doesn't seem to be working, so...
There was a hotel bus sitting right there.
Uh-huh.
That took a couple of passengers.
Okay, then.
Yeah, but none has come to me. Not yet.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Did you just arrive to Canada from an international destination?
Yeah, that's right.
And did you have to go through a test here since arriving? Or?
No, everything was easy.
Oh, okay then. And do you have to stay at a hotel or?
Yeah, already reserved yesterday.
Oh, okay.
3
then.
days.
And it's about what, $2,000 for 3 days, I understand, right?
It's not up to 2,000. At least maybe, as I remember, 1,200, something like this.
Okay, well, you got a discount. That's good. But how do you feel about that the fact that you have to stay at a hotel as opposed to going home?
I think this procedure is to protecting people,
Okay.
and we have to respect it until we find some other solution.
Okay, fair
Okay.
enough. By the way, we see people getting these little blue boxes here. What is that? Is that an information kit or something, or?
Something like this. So
Says COVID.
I will find out. I'm not sure
You'll find
about
out. What does it say on the box? It says COVID-19. Oh, it's an at-home specimen kit.
Yeah,
I see.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time, sir. But how you doing? Good. Did you just arrive to Canada, sir?
Yeah, we just arrived to Canada from Cairo, Egypt.
Oh, okay, Cairo. And now do you have to go to a government quarantine hotel?
Yes, and we pay $4,000 to $2,000 for each room.
Wow.
And actually, it was an essential trip because my younger daughter was getting married, and absolutely you do understand what marriage is.
Yes.
So it's lots of costs. So we came broke, and we don't have this kind of money to waste on this kind of quarantine. And also we live in houses. So I live in a house. Nobody else lives with me and my wife. So we can quarantine those 3 days in our house. There is no connection. And if Mr. Trudeau doesn't trust us, he can put a security guard on our door. But don't punish us by doing this. I know he said it's not punishment, it's for taking care of people, but it looks to me like punishment because there should be some exemption for the Canadian people who live in houses, at least not in a building, because there is no other people live with us. And I don't see the point to go.
Yeah, and
So it's more safe.
$4,000, that's a lot of money.
Yes, and actually it's safer to be in our house than going to a hotel, and I don't know what's going on there, and in the room that we're going to. So even though if he said everything is being prepared, I don't trust that.
And sir, you raise an important point. There are exemptions for essential travel.
Yes.
So I guess it comes down to what is the definition by this government of who is essential and who is not essential?
Yeah. Nobody understands. It's just a word written, but no definition, no explanation for this, the definition at all. No one understands what is the exemption, what he means by exemption. Is it essential, and what is essential to him or to the country? So.
And the timing too. I mean, if you were arriving just 12 hours ago, you wouldn't have to go to a hotel.
No, I just want to say one more thing.
Yes.
When we traveled to Cairo, Egypt, was the 9th of January, so it's before even discussing this new rules. Yeah. So these new rules came after we traveled. So if you know about it, maybe you can have a different approach to our situation. But this way, he forced us to do it, and that's not fair. It should be applied from the day that he decided to make that decision, which is February 4th or 9th. I can't remember the exact date.
I think that's an excellent point, sir. I think there should be like a grandfather clause for earlier travelers, yes. But right now it's kind of like the ref changing the rules in the third period, right?
And he said 2% of the COVID-19 comes from the travelers. So he's focusing on the 2% and forget about the 98%. So I don't understand this point as well.
No, you're so right. The vast majority of deaths we know are elderly people with medical conditions in long-term care centers. I am sure you and your wife you're relatively young, relatively healthy. Yes. I don't see you as being a risk to the country.
Exactly. You're absolutely touches a point, and it's you nail it properly. And the point is, again, I repeat it, I live in a house. My house, nobody else lives in it. So it's only me and my wife. So it's safer for us to go to our home after this big journey. And also we are broke because it's a wedding situation. My daughter got married, so he ruined my happiness.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. So
it's unfortunate, yeah. But we have to live with it based on Mr. Trudeau's decision. And I don't think this is very appropriate unless he has a bigger view for the point. But our point of view, it doesn't see that. So thank you so much.
Hi, ma'am. Are you just coming in from Cairo?
Yes.
Tell me, do you have to stay at a government quarantine hotel now, or?
Yes.
And it's $2,000 for 3 days?
Oh no.
Oh. How much?
I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Hi, ma'am. How you doing? Are you just coming in from Cairo? Yes. As I understand it, do you have to now stay at a hotel for 3 days?
Yes.
And it's like $2,000?
No,
Oh, it's not. How much is it?
it's 140 something a night.
140 a night. Wow, I hadn't heard of that. Most people say it's 2,000 for 3 nights, but how do you feel about having to stay at a hotel?
It's not comfortable to stay in the hotel after all this long flight. So I don't like it.
Well, good luck, but I think you got a discount.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, folks, what can I tell you? Most of the travelers we spoke to were really upset that they are being stuck with a hotel bill when they can easily quarantine at home. And why isn't that an option? Now they're off to a lousy hotel but paying $2,000 for 3 nights. And folks, even that's confusing. Most of the people said that was what they were told, about $2,000 for 3 nights worth of stay. But we had one gentleman say his rate was $1,200. And then a lady told us her rate was $149 a night. And I wanted to get clarity, so I phoned the government's quarantine hotel hotline, that 1-800 number we tried earlier on. And what did I get? Well, your call is very important to us. And then it was disconnected. So again, this looks to me like a case of the federal government hanging up, literally and figuratively, on travelers arriving back to Canada. What a disgrace. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, have you been given one of those $880 Wuhan virus protocol tickets? Well, if so, please reach out to us at fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. Tell us your story, and if we think it has merit, we will get you in touch with a top-notch criminal lawyer and crowdfund your legal fees.